Hi, this is Chris from AUX Designer, and today I want to show you how to reset an experience in AUXPlayer. We've all had the problem where we've created something, people have moved things around, deleted things, added new things, and we just have a mess on our hands and we have to manually reset everything. So when creating an AUX, an ambient user experience, it is good to start by designing that core loop. And the most important part of that core loop is the ability to reset the experience. So I'm going to show you how to do that today with a simple example. So we're going to start by creating a context, and we called it room 1, and we're going to put a bot out on that context, and this is going to be our reset button. So we'll drag this out. Let's add a few things to it. Let's start with an aux dot, let's set the color, aux.color. And we're going to set this to light green so we know to push it. And then we are going to add aux.label and write reset on it so we know that, again, this is the reset button. All right, and there we go. Now we're going to jump back in and we're going to add an on-click event to our reset button. And what we want this on-click to do is to destroy this bot. Stick with me for a second. So we're going to set destroy this. And we're going to jump into the context and see what this does. So when we tap on our reset button, it destroys the reset button. So that is our first step. This isn't what we wanted to do, obviously, so let's drag this mod out. Oh, I have to add my labels back to it. So the mod will have my on-click event that we just set up. Let me add the color back. So why we're having it destroy this button is because of the creation hierarchy in AUXPlayer. By that I mean we set up a bot and it is a creator of other bots, so when you destroy that first bot, it will destroy all of the bots that it's created. And this is how we're going to reset the experience, by destroying all the bots and then recreating new ones. So here we are in our on-click event, destroy this. Now we want it to create a new reset button. So we're going to destroy the reset button, then we're going to create a new one. So create, and then we'll put no and this. And now note the ID on this bot. It is FB3B6. Now I'm going to go into our context. I will click on the bot. It'll destroy that bot and create a new one. So let's tap on it, and now it's 1B15C. So we've destroyed our first bot and created a new one. Let's do it again. And I go back and we can see that the ID is different again. So it's destroying a bot and creating one that looks exactly like it with all of the same tags. Basically the same bot, but it is different. And now we're going to use that to create a bunch of other bots that when we destroy that first bot, it'll destroy all of the other ones and create new ones. So we're going to start by putting this into a variable called new reset button, because this is what we're doing with it. We're creating a new reset button. And we're going to call this from inside of a for loop. Inside of a for loop so we can make a bunch of other bots. Okay, so we have that in a variable. Let's create our for loop. So let I equal 0. So we want to set I to 0 to start with. And a for loop requires 3 statements, so we write for, and then the first one will be where we initialize the iterator. So I equals 0. Sort of confirms what we just said above. and then semicolon. The next statement is the loop condition. So how many times do we want it to loop? Let's do 5 times. So I is set to 0 for as long as I is less than 5. We want this to keep running. So loop 5 times. And then each time it runs through the loop, we want to add 1 to I. So basically we're starting at 0 each time we run through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it counts up. So what do we want it to do in this for loop? Well, we want it to create a new bot. So we're going to create, and we want it to create 5 new bots. That's why we have it in a for loop. So it's going to create 5 new bots. And then we want to call our new reset button variable that will create a new reset button. And then we need to close out our curly brackets. And we can add a semicolon here. I don't think we really need to, but we can. I like to be consistent, sorry. So what this should do is destroy the reset button, create a new one, and create 5 bots that are children to this bot. So we tap it, and nothing happened. All right, let's jump back in here. I think I know why. Let's click on that bot. What we need to do is set each of those new bots that it creates. We need to set the context that they are in. So room 1, and we need to set that to true on all of those bots. So let's make another variable called let context mod equal. Then we got to do this in curly brackets. And then in quotes, we do the name of our context, which is room 1. And then a colon, which just means we want to set room 1 to true. So we'll do that in quotes as well. And then we can close out our curly bracket and add a semicolon. And then we also need to call that variable in our create function down here. So now what this will do is destroy our reset button, create a new one, and create 5 bots that will be added to our context. And then if we tap it again, it'll destroy all of those bots and the reset button and create a new reset button and 5 more new bots. Let's check it out. So now it'll tap our reset button and it'll give me 5 bots in our context. Let's say, hey, we go through our whole experience, bots get moved around. I tap it again, it resets the experience to a stack of 5 bots. They can play through the experience again, tap the reset button, and it resets the loop. So I'm going to select the reset bot and one of the bots that is created. You can see the aux.creator tag on one of the bots that it's created is set to the ID of the reset button. So that means that the reset button created that other bot, and that means because of the creation hierarchy in AUXPlayer, that if we destroy the reset bot, it will also destroy this bot that it created. So that's pretty cool, and that's all because of the creation hierarchy in AUXPlayer. So when designing an experience, start by designing the full loop, which includes resetting the experience. And that's how to reset an experience in AUXPlayer. Thank you.